What's going down, everybody? It's your boy Big Drewski, and welcome to another episode of Space Bucket Growing with Drewski. Today's episode is brought to you by Rain Man Space Bucket Micro Grows. That's mostly Safe 8 on Instagram. Go check them out. You'll see what we have, what we call the Beast, the Rain Man model Space Bucket, aka the Jabberwocky, which can be purchased by clicking the link on the bio on their Instagram profile. And get yourself a space bucket. See what High Times is talking about. The newest episode or the newest issue that's coming out in December. You can see what the wave is all about. And you can get one professionally made for you with everything that you want on it. You can get an LED UFO. You can get LED light spacers. You got your 280mm fans. It's just everything that's great about stealth growing. You can tuck this thing off in your closet, turn it on, plant, and, garden as usual, but in a nice, stealthy way to where your neighbors ain't going to trip out about the purple glow coming from the bedroom. You know what I'm talking about. But make sure you check out our sponsor over there. Make sure you also check out our folks over at Smoke Pipe. That's SMOAKPIPE on Instagram. They've got a brand new gift set out. You'll get a smoke pipe, leather case, nectar collector attachment, so you can actually dab out of the smoke pipe now, which is pretty awesome. I can't wait to get mine because right now I've got the Chub, the OG, and the leather case. So I need to get another OG and a dab attachment to get my day going, because you can just take that right out, heat it up, dab right out your silicone. It's awesome. Save yourself some time. But today's episode is an update on Tinkerbell's Revenge. We're going to get into that here in just a quick second here. But first, I want to let you guys also know that we do have our merchandise online. That's shop.spreadshirt.com/elevated-lifestyle, the brand. We have our CBD line of t-shirts, hoodies, and cell phone cases available. If you'd like to purchase one of those, help support the show, go to shop.spreadshirt.com/elevated-lifestyle-LV and get yourself a t-shirt, hoodie, or cell phone case. Maybe a hat pin too. We got those as well. So support the brand and the show also on Instagram at @whatarewedoing_podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, follow, and then, show us that, you're supporting the brand on your Instagram by tagging us in your pictures. All right, you guys. So, Tinkerbell's Revenge. We are a little bit over a month in now. I know I haven't been doing any updates on it, except for on Instagram when I actually have time. Looks like I'll have a little bit more time on my hands until, things clear up again. Life, it's got to happen. But while we're growing Tinkerbell's Revenge here, I've noticed a few things. I've done a lot differently. First off, I almost scrapped the whole sample pack of Nectar for the Gods nutrients, that little regimen that they, suggest you should follow. It is the suggestion, and so I didn't follow it this time. Tinkerbell's Revenge, all I did was every time I made a gallon of water, it's like every third one, I just used a quarter teaspoon. Literally a quarter teaspoon of everything. So this feed, it was a quarter teaspoon of Athena's Amnias, Gaia Mana, which is a supplement. Looks like Athena's Amnias is nitrogen. I also used the whole kit here. Liquid bone meal, which is the Herculean Harvest. I did double up on the Harvest. I did double up on calcium, so the Demeter's Destiny. I added the Bloom Chaos, which is the foliar spray, but you can mix it in once you start flowering. So that's exactly what I did. I also added in the Medusa's Magic, which is a soil nutrient, doubled up on that, and then I doubled up on the growth enhancer, which is the Zeus juice. So 2/4 teaspoons of each mixed in with a 1/4 teaspoon of the Bloom Chaos. And I did not add the full on this time to the feed, but everything else is looking very, very lovely. If you're following us on Instagram, that's at whatarewedoing_podcast. You can always see all of the pictures that we have. Sorry about that, y'all. My throat's acting up. But a few things that we did different going on with that. So doubled up on the nutrients, but we used less. We didn't use the whole teaspoon, 2 teaspoons. I just used 1/4 teaspoon, been slowly adding in, and then last night was the time I doubled up. So did that, throw the 180 watt Apollo horticulture UFO LED spacer on top, and let everything go. I think I'm going to have to add a spacer in the next few days. I added one last night, but since it's the first couple of weeks of flower, it is still stretching. Pistils are popping out of this thing. Another thing, since it is such a rare plant, a lot of people don't have access to it, especially here in the valley. A lot of people won't have access to this one at all, but me and Stacks. So, yeah. Sorry, guys. We're not going to give it to you. Not until we get the process, right. And when I say the process right, we're in process of picking up another LED. I think Stacks is on the way to get a 300 watt LED set up. So hopefully that happens if it hasn't already. If not, well, it's life. It's got to happen. But for myself, I have to, one thing I've got to do a little bit different this time. So the last grow, we had the LED light spacer fully working. Great. Awesome. Right. Extra light, at least 100 extra watts, which boosted the inner and side growth, especially on, what was that? The Granddaddy Perp cross that we had grown in there before. When it did get into the flower and everything like that, the only thing I noticed is that everything that touched that light spacer burned. And so what I want to do is I'm going to rewire this light spacer so that I have constant light. That's going to be a tricky one. The whole don't blow yourself up thing. Yeah, I'm pretty good at not blowing myself up, but I don't want to blow myself up. So I've got to rewire it because there's a short somewhere in the power source dimmer switch somewhere. And so I have blinking lights instead of steady light. And so I've got to rewire a couple of things, see what that's going to do, and then go from there. Another thing I did different was I defoliated only necessary leaves. I didn't go full out and try to make my plant look like everybody else's. I kind of just went and did what I deemed was necessary, which was some of the bigger fan leaves in the earlier growth. But now that I've flipped into flower and I've taken that into consideration, I'm not going to defoliate too much. And that's just because I'm going to save all the energy that's in this grow, and I'm not going to stunt it back anymore by damaging the plant more than it already is from the defoliation that was done earlier. Not saying that I was damaging the plant, but it's one of those things. You don't want to stunt the growth that you do have. So from this point on, we're not defoliating anymore. We're not going to trim or do anything of that nature. Nothing. I don't have to do anything to this plant. This thing's growing perfectly. There's no nutrient deficiencies. pH hasn't become a problem. This plant is freaking perfect finally. And I think it's the environment. It's cooler. There's nothing to really worry about heat-wise unless, you know what I'm saying, I'll leave the lights on all day. And that's something that's rarely ever done because everything's on a timer. So, for right now, we're just sitting here really contemplating the next step. And we know what the next step is. It's just to get everything gone till harvest. And so, we're watching everything very carefully when it comes to this plant, when it comes down to pH and all that good stuff. And then, heat, which we don't have to worry about too much right now since we're in the fall season for Nevada. It's cooler in the environment that I'm in. I can definitely tell you that. Not adding any heaters and not trying to heat up nope. This whole grow, I'm going cold. Except for the lights that are going to be on for 12 hours inside that. And I have the lights on at night. So it gets hot at night inside the space bucket, or hotter than what it usually would be. And then it's cool during the day, and that's when it sleeps. So I've got the light cycle going on. When pretty much everybody's asleep, the lights are on. But it works out. You know what I'm saying? Less energy being used throughout the day. The lamp can provide heat to the plant. You know what I'm saying? I won't have to worry about anything freezing up or anything like that. And if this goes right, February, I should have this harvested beginning of February. That's my goal. Hopefully, it just depends on the flowering cycle of this. It's indoor, LED grown, nutrients being used. Yeah, I'm going for 8 to 10 weeks. The stats on Tinkerbell's Revenge are kind of one of those unknowns. I've seen it, but I haven't. Not too many people know about it, so not too many people have written about it. So right now we're in week 2 of flower, starting week 2. Yeah. So, we'll see what happens. We got 8 more weeks to go until we can actually smoke this thing. After we flip it, dry it, trim it, cure it, smoke it. I'm thinking Valentine's Day. So, the Valentine's Day massacre is going to happen with the appropriately named Tinkerbell's Revenge. And on that note, we're going to medicate. We're using the Yukon Evolve wax pen. It's the dual quartz coil ceramic bowl. Heats up nice and fast, actually instantly. Love this thing, but smoking on some cookie shatter. I think I got some Wi-Fi OG crumble in here too. Sorry, y'all. That's what happens when you get good medication in your system. Shout out to, and while we're speaking of pins and extracting what you're going to take out of your space bucket after you cure it, and then you squish it in some live rosin, you should, thin that out. Get your O-Pin battery. Margot of O-Pin, I met last night at First Friday, and pretty awesome conversation. Get prepared for that. It's going to be a really, really, really cool conversation that we're going to have about cannabis products in the state of Nevada, from Open, their line, everything that they offer from all their flavors, their in wax, what they bring to the table, where they're from, because they are from Colorado. They came down to Vegas to expand business, and they're doing pretty good. They've got a few lines. They got a craft reserve line. They've got their regular strains, your indica sativa hybrids. Man, can't wait for that conversation. When it comes to pens, the waxes, their process of how they make wax and get it to you in the pen form, and then go from there. So, folks, it's another quick one. You know how Facebook Growing with Drewski is. It's a really quick update series. Pretty much telling y'all everything that's going on with this plant. I hope to get more of these done every week. I have been slacking. My bad. Follow us on Instagram, though, at whatarewedoing_podcast. I promise you it'll be made up to you in Instagram content. You can also follow me personally on Snapchat if you want to, at Drewski702. Add me on Snapchat. I'm an interesting character. I'm all around Vegas. I'm moving around, doing what I need to do. You know what I mean? And you'll get to see that portion of life and, life while medicated. So, holla at me. We'll be in here doing our thing tomorrow night. We'll be broadcasting the episode on YouTube. So look us up on YouTube. Subscribe to the page because you're finally going to be getting video from us. On the What Are We Doing side, Facebook at Growing with Drewski. I still haven't perfected the office yet, so I don't want to show y'all something crazy. Even though we are really, really transparent on the other show. So, folks, it's your boy, Big Drewski. Follow us on Instagram at whatarewedoing_podcast. Make sure you follow our sponsor, Mostly Safe 8. Make sure you follow everybody else that supports, from Smoke Pipe to Fatty's Premium Rolling Papers. Everybody, thanks for showing us so much love. We're going to be out of here. See y'all when we see y'all.